Hello, everyone. Welcome to 3 o'clock with SOC. Give me a minute to invite our Spanish-speaking guests. Bienvenido y gracias por ver 3 o'clock con SOC. Si quieres acceso al programa en español, por favor, marque ese número que aparece en la pantalla, ¿cuál es? 646-749-3122. Cuando le conteste su llamada, marque 779-328-221. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another episode of 3 o'clock with SOC. It's actually episode 164. I can't believe we've done 164 of these, but we're always here to serve you, and we're very thankful that we can still be with you as much as possible, at least digitally for now. Besides our ongoing translations, you'll also find recorded videos in English and Spanish on both our Facebook page and our YouTube. There's a lot of great archive information there. Please find it. Please share it. We would really appreciate that. In addition to that, our staff is always available for you. Today, I am joined by Maria Barea, our community organizer, who's doing our production today, and also Gabe Charles, our civic engagement manager. She's doing our tech support and our comments today. So if any needs you have, feel free to put them in the comments, and we would love to see you and say hi. And even though it's COVID-19 and our staff cannot be with you in person right now, we are definitely available for you always. We have our website, www.soc@socmilwaukee.org. We also have our phone number, 414-672-8090. And you can always email us at soc@socmilwaukee.org. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you need any information on resident resources. Always here for you. Besides that, with our form, we do have a very, very quick survey. You'll find that it takes about 3 minutes to complete, and we're looking at these all the time. In 2021, we're going to make a few changes to our form based on your recommendations. So if you have a moment to fill it out, I know we would love the feedback. We'll have a link for you in the comments in just a moment. And besides that, we see a number of you. We're so thankful you can join us. And even though we can't see exactly who's here, we'd love you to just say hi to us or share the show. We would love to interact with you, or if you have any questions for our guest, we would love to have that happen too. Again, all of our SOC staff is working virtually from home, but we do want you to know about a disclaimer. The views and opinions shared on today's show do not necessarily reflect those of SOC. Always here to raise resident voice, but we want to be very clear about that. Today is Organizing Leadership and Community Development Day. Our featured segment will be with Vaun Mays, and he's coming from the community, or he's a community organizer with Community Task Force Milwaukee. So should be joining us any moment now. Just to let you know about the rest of our week, we have some amazing rebroadcasts coming up for you, and also some special events that are coming. Being that it's a holiday week next week, we're going to be re-airing some classics for you. Also, we'll have a pre-recorded interview with our executive director and lead organizer, Tammy Rivera. And we will be showing the 50th anniversary of the Roberto Hernandez Center, which recently just happened, and we're so glad to share that with you. And we will have translated versions available as well. But besides that, we definitely hope that you have a great Restgiving next week. In addition, November 30th. All right, I think our guest might be a tiny bit delayed. So we're going to have our Gabe Charles check in really quick to see if we can find Vaun. I know he was here a little earlier, so we'll give him a second. But if we can go ahead and go on to our coronavirus update, it'll be a video on Corona-19 numbers and misinformation.
Mami, ¿qué tú haces? ¿Estás enferma que te está poniendo el virus?
Eso te protege del corona.
Eso no protege nada de corona.
Eso sí, eso mata el corona.
¿Quién te dijo eso?
Yo lo vi por WhatsApp.
Vapor rub is great for a lot of things, but it doesn't actually help with COVID at all. Until we have a vaccine, the things you can do are wear your mask, stay physically distanced, and when you are with other people that aren't in your household, keep it outside so that we keep transmission down.
Y que va por uno, funciona.
Seems like it was a very quick video, and you just got to keep going with it. And again, we see a few of you online right now, so if you have a moment to say hi, we would love to interact with you. Hoping that Vaun is safe. I know we just talked a few moments ago, so hopefully we'll get him to jump on very soon. But why don't we go ahead and let's see if we have any comments with our viewers. Oh, I see our amazing youth organizers. Ariana, hola. Jasmine, hello. Isaiah, hello. Kimberly, hello. We miss seeing your faces, and we love all the great work you've been doing on the forum, and we appreciate you so much. With that, why don't we go ahead to our next video? It's going to be a civic engagement update, recount procedure with Megan Wolf, the Wisconsin Election Commission Administrator.
I'm Megan Wolf. I'm the administrator of the State of Wisconsin Elections Commission and the chief election official for the state of Wisconsin, Wisconsin's nonpartisan chief election official. So as we do every week and during any major actions of our commission or major happenings in Wisconsin elections, I wanted to provide you all with an update on the certification and the recount process here in the state of Wisconsin. So on Tuesday, the last county canvass is filed. So as we've been discussing, the county canvass and the municipal canvass process is where unofficial results become official, right? So each of our local jurisdictions, so each of our cities, towns, and villages, after an election has to canvass by reviewing their unofficial election night results and then certify them at the municipal level. They then go to the county level where they also do their review and their certification. If they find a problem, they send it back to the municipality. And on Tuesday, which was the deadline for everyone to complete their municipal and then county canvasses, we received our final county certification. And what this meant is that then started the time clock for when a recount could be filed with the state of Wisconsin if there was an aggrieved candidate within the margin, which there indeed was. So on Tuesday evening, we received $3 million from the Trump campaign. And then on Wednesday morning, we received a petition for recount. And that petition specifically designated Dane and Milwaukee County. So again, all of these steps, all of these procedures requiring the payment prior to the start of a recount and allowing that a candidate can choose either a statewide recount or specific jurisdictions are laid out in Wisconsin state statute. So those are statutes that were created that govern the process for the recount. And I think I speak for our election administrators when I say that we look forward to again demonstrating the strengths, security, integrity, and transparency of our election systems in Wisconsin. We did so through the Municipal Board of Canvass, where we saw very little, if any, changes. We did so through the County Board of Canvass, where we didn't see any significant changes. And we'll do so again with the recount. And then we'll do so again with the post-election voting equipment audit. And so to that end, I look forward to your continued engagement, and I look forward to providing that information and status updates throughout the recount process, which again is set to end no later than December 1st.
Thank you so much, and we appreciate Gabe Charles for preparing that video for us. I know right now there's a lot of calls to action to have more recount observers. There's a training tonight and I believe one tomorrow. So if you're interested in that, making sure that you're looking for that information. I know it's been kind of going around social media today. We definitely want to make sure that this recount is fair and relevant and every voice is counted. It's very important to us. I'm going to say hi very quickly to Stacy Carlos, also Juan, and also Leroy. Besides that, we're going to go ahead and bring on Vaun Mays, community organizer for Community Task Force Milwaukee. Hey, Vaun, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us. And I was just reminiscing the other time, my first time interacting with you. I don't know if you remember it. It was a while ago, but there was an incident at Beam School, and I still remember meeting you and connecting with you since I'm an educator. And you and I have done some work before. You've helped me out with a mentorship opportunity, and so thankful for the work that you do in our city. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Vaun Mays, community activist, a Milwaukee native, raised in the 53206 area code, of course. You know, just a servant of the people, I run a number of organizations and programs and initiatives in Milwaukee. The main ones being Community Task Force, MKE, and of course our nonprofit branch of youth work, Program the Parks, MKE.
Beautiful, beautiful. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about the first one and give us some details, and then we can talk about Program the Parks. What would you like residents to know about it?
So ComForce, or which is short for the Community Task Force, is an umbrella. It's almost like our own version of a common council or a legislative board, and it's predominantly residents, community leaders, business owners, faith-based organizations. Just anybody you can think of, including elected officials, and it's a sort of works by we insert an issue that's going on in the community, and amongst ourselves we kind of deliberate between our respective platforms on what we can bring to the table to alleviate that issue. And so we have a number of things that we offer to the community. Of course, that it really covers everything outside of Program the Parks, which is the youth stuff. So that incorporates, meal programs, homeless work with homeless populations, incident de-escalation, anything political or dealing with, the Fire and Police Commission, the police department, community police relations in that, mental health. We went out on suicide intervention work, violence prevention, just so much different stuff. The MKE Single Parents Club is also a part of that, and just so much more stuff. And then, of course, Program the Parks is an initiative we started in 2016 in June, and it was supposed to be, and pretty much the sounding of an alarm when we first realized what was going on in Sherman Park. We were trying to really galvanize the community and say, hey, something is happening over here. This is very serious. We should get ahead of it. People didn't necessarily listen really in the beginning, and unfortunately, it took for the killing of Seville Smith for people to see what we were trying to do, and then invest more into what we were, trying to do, and expand it after that. And it really became a very vital program for that area and for the city. And like I said, I just, appreciate being a part of history in Milwaukee and being able to serve the community.
Absolutely. And you're one of the community organizers I always just envy so much, because you really live and breathe your mission. Tell us a little bit about your experiences as being an organizer in Milwaukee. How's that been for you? Because it's so different for every individual.
It's been very different for me. I didn't come in with formal training. You know what I'm saying? I've had people who have kind of been on the journey with me who always talked about organizing. And I'm like, okay, then what? Because I'm doing the action and y'all are over here talking about organizing. So it doesn't really compute to me what you mean. And so one thing that has been different for me is the use of social media. Social media has given me a tool to reach a mass amount of people, to show what we're doing, to organize folks around the ask. And I've even kind of developed almost even a training in that, as using social media as a organizing tool, because I don't think a lot of people really utilize it correctly. And it really has been a very different experience for me, being a resident that got involved in the work without that formal training, without knowing the specifics, and the technicalities of that comes with organizing, that people usually come into this work through. So it's really been interesting for me, but I wouldn't change anything.
Actually, and we're so thankful to have you. And you are right. There are a lot of organizers. There's a lot of talk, and there are also ones that are actually doing the action. And I think you're definitely one of them that is so accessible. A lot of individuals can feel like they can connect with you. I've always seen you almost at every single event. Let us know right now any tips you have for any residents that want to become more active. What would you suggest to them?
I would suggest they go out to events from people like Farina Brooks. Farina Brooks is a resident from the 39th, 38th, and Center area who got into organizing an event leading major events now, because she knew of me. And one of our young people from Program the Parks was shot and killed on 39th and Center, which was a block from her house. And at that point, she wanted to bring, activities to her part of town, which that immediate area had a lot of issues and wasn't really getting focused on. And so as a resident, she, made those connections with myself. I helped her make connections with other people and let her know, well, this is how, we do this. These are the connections I have for that. And it went from her, it being very difficult for her to really get anything off the ground, to really build relationships, to her like now is like automatic. You know what I mean? So getting that experience from people who have been, in this work, reaching out, partnering with different folks and different organizations, knowing what's out there, knowing what resources are out there. All of that stuff is very vital and key. And I encourage anybody to become a leader and to not wait on other folks to come to their area and focus on their area. We need all hands on deck. And it's just beautiful to see people want to step up, especially as we've seen of late with the protests. So many people have stepped up since that incident. But we are definitely pushing towards a better, greater Milwaukee, and we need all hands on deck to do that.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm very thankful. Gabe put in the links to the community task force, and also we'll have Program the Parks in the comments for our viewers to go ahead and click on and get it. Also very thankful. We have a lot of our youth organizers that said hello to us earlier, and I know they definitely would be interested in getting more information. So I'm hopeful that they'll click on those links as well. Let me know, how has COVID-19 impacted what you're doing and the work that your teams are doing? Has it made it better? Has it made it harder? Let us know what that looks like.
COVID-19, especially with Program the Parks, and especially with us becoming an official nonprofit, we really have not had an opportunity, especially this year, to really do much of anything. Of course, because we predominantly run that program out of county parks, like literally out of the parks. And so we have, there's that gap that it puts in between us and those young people who will generally have something to do in a safe space to go to where they can, be themselves, fellowship with each other, and have that protection and that mentorship there. Now they're kind of like just out doing whatever's available for them to do. So it has definitely made things very much a lot different. But it also, we've had to try to make lemonade with the lemons, and we've tried to build opportunities to where we can get our young people to go out on, like for instance, we just had a pole protection program where we went out to each pole site, and we had them help us build these COVID care packs, and pass those out to ensure that there was no voter intimidation. And so we were able to raise stipends to help pay them to do that work with us. And just all that type of stuff. So we've just had to like really just figure out how to maneuver through this time and make things available as far as opportunities and engagement. So many of them want to go to different events with us, or I was delivering food boxes at one point. So many of them wanted to come and do that with me and ride around and deliver those boxes, and I couldn't. I had to tell them no, just because of COVID. We're coming in contact with a lot of different people, and I just didn't want to risk being the vehicle in which they contracted COVID. And so it really has presented a very huge barrier as far as access and engagement with our young people.
Yeah, I can only imagine. SOC right now is not doing anything in person, but it is a loss in the community. But again, like you mentioned earlier, the fact that we have the tool of social media, and I always see you present and always sharing. You're always a very transparent leader, which I really appreciate. And as a person who's seen your youth work myself, it is just very powerful, and I'm thankful that our city has you. Before we wrap up right now, of course, any calls to action that you want to let our residents know about, especially thinking about any future events that you might have that you need support on?
Oh, absolutely. We are nearing the end of the year. It's been a very difficult year. And I've said, we want to end this year with a huge positive note. And so this will be our 6th annual door-to-door gift drive in Milwaukee. And we want to make it bigger and better, and we want to present an opportunity where everybody can come out and participate in that. And so we are seeking donations to secure gifts and gift bags. We are encouraging organizations who may have COVID materials, who may have, some other events that they have going on, just resource information that we can also put in those gift bags to help expand to our community what's out there and available. And then just coming together to do something as a city for the city. Again, this is probably going to be our 6th year, and I can tell you each year it is something that happens and experience where we come across a house that just really touches people about the beauty of having people open a door and be surprised with gifts for their children from out of nowhere unexpectedly, especially if they had a terrible, rough year economic, they weren't able to get their children anything. That it's really impactful to know that somebody in the city is thinking about you and got your back, and just offering that bit of upliftment. So that's one thing that I want to galvanize people around for this year.
Excellent. And I love that. And also, if you have a moment to share a link with us, even if it's later on today, we'll make sure that we share that with our viewers so they have access to any information. We would love to. And right now, I mean, as a person who grew up on the north side but lives on the south side now, I'm so thankful that there are more north and south side alliances. So however we can support each other going forward, never hesitate to reach out to us. We're always here to be with you, to make sure that we're helping our people for sure. Any last things you want to share with us before we wrap up?
Well, no, I actually think that would be a dope thing to do if we can get the South Side, because I've never done one on the South Side in the 6 years we've done it. So if we could even collaborate with folks on the South Side to kind of either switch sides, so a group of folks from the North Side go do it however we can do that, or if we have one on the North Side and the South Side, and we both just all do both things. I think we need to do everything we can to bridge both sides of the city. And build those Black and brown relations specifically in our community. So, and this is an opportunity to do that.
Absolutely. I always tell people the story too. Like until I was 15 years old, I never even saw Lake Michigan, even though I lived on like 32nd and Juneau. It just, my parents went constantly. We didn't go anywhere. We went to the south side to go to the Mexican stores, and that was it. So, and a lot of that is still existing, especially with COVID. People are not able to explore their own city, and we really need to provide more opportunities for that. So I would love to see that, and definitely would personally help you out with that for sure.
Thank you.
Always. Well, I think I'm going to see you tomorrow at an event, but always thankful for you, and I can't wait till we cross paths. Yeah, and we got a comment right here. Teamwork makes the dream work, from Jacqueline. Thank you so much for saying that. We definitely fully agree with that. We need to definitely be here for each other, especially during these times. Yeah, we appreciate you so much, and I can't wait to see you safely in person.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right,
having
be
me.
well. Gracias. All right, thank you so much, Vaun Mays, for joining us. We'll definitely share some of that information, especially for the gift giving one, because that is a huge one, and we definitely need to be there for each other, especially this year. I can see some great interaction. I think I said hi to Leroy. I'm not sure if I did, but Juan, also Stacy Carlos. We appreciate you all so much for coming in and commenting and sharing our show. We always love that. Up next, we're going to have a pre-recorded video from one of our organizers and also our producer today, Maria Parea. This one is a KK River interview with Esperanza Gutierrez.
Hi, everyone. Today we have Esperanza with us from KK River Neighbors in Action. Hi, Esperanza. Welcome to 3 O'Clock with SOC.
Thank you.
Yeah, so if you can just start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and your role with KK River.
I moved into this neighborhood over 20 years ago. And that was the last year that they actually had a skating ring in the park. We had the Suicide Hill, and the park is used at all seasons. In winter, due to the tobogganing and the sledding that people do. And during the awakening of the season, people walk a lot. So it's most of the houses here are very put together where people can just about shake hands from their windows. Very small. The majority have very small backyard gardens and stuff. So the park is a place where we can take, like they say, a baño de sol, or a forest type of a walk where you can go in and take in nature, where kids can run and scream their lungs out without being told to keep it down, and just run and be free to move around. So the neighborhood does that through the whole year. And I live here, so it is my front lawn. It is the site I wake up to every morning. So if I don't get involved, then I'm not worthy of living here. So
Thank you for that. So did you when and how did KK River Neighbors in Action get started then?
It started around 2014. Both MMSD, the Milwaukee Metro sewer system, contracted SAC as well as 6th Street Clinic, so they could create an association of neighbors so they can have an input and a voice and a presentation to the redesign of the KK River. So it was a combined effort of they took some neighbors, they gave them some training, and then they chose the name KK Rivers Neighbors in Action. And we've been here now since 2014, so it has survived many presidencies, change of staff at agencies, separation from agencies here and there, and we're still going strong, even though the people, I say that they've done better. One of our initial president has even gone to medical school. Another one got a promotion in her job. So it's been strong. And our newest president and this is our all volunteer, nobody pays them. If we do something, it's out of our pockets, but we do apply for short stipends here and there so we can be more represented in the community.
Okay. So who can participate? Is this open to just people in the neighborhood or anybody?
We're a city, so anybody, any resident that pays taxes pays for the park, so it is open to everybody.
Okay.
It is something that if you enjoy the company, if you enjoy the park, we ask people to participate. A lot of the residents that go out for a walk even carry a garbage bag and they do cleanup. So they not only enjoy but also maintain. Anybody from whatever age to babies that are being, carried into the park and participate. We have people from like the Urban Country Center that have participated in giving bird walks, and we've had yoga classes. So anybody that wants to participate may participate in all our activities.
Okay, perfect. Another question is, can you tell us a little bit about like what kind of projects or events were happening with KK River before COVID hit?
We try to listen to the neighbors of what type of things they would like. And like I said, we had the bird walks. We've had annual gatherings of the community with music and food and games for the children. We've had walks in the park. We had yoga. We had painting sections. We had where people would come in and we get a lesson on how to paint, and whatever we paint, we take. All our activities have been free to the people. We've had sections where they come in and they do the biking in through the neighborhood and through the park. We've had, we partner with Milwaukee River Keeper to try to keep the park clean, because anything that is in the park and in our streets go into the river, and the river is what we drink. So if we don't keep it healthy, we're not going to be healthy ourselves. So we have classes, we have summer camps for the kids. They would meet several times during the week, and they would be introduced to why we should be taking care of the parks and the trees, and what life lives, you know, in the grass, what composes a healthy environment, and it's on hands-on. The kids either dug up and planted trees or cleaned up. We made, there's several art projects that we've made. We have some very Dr. Seuss looking seats in both sides of the park. And we also had community swimming, where we would provide and pay the entrance to the pool and have people just swim for free. So it's very involved. You can be as involved as you want. We have a core of people that is on hand, where we had to move land and buckets and stuff, and we made a huge line, and people participated in that, trying to create some urban gardens. So people can enjoy, if they didn't have the time or the land, that it would be there for them.
So going along with that is, what does it look like now then? Do you guys have anything going on right now in terms of projects or events or anything coming up?
Well, technically, it opened up this year. It was supposed to open pre-COVID, but it opened up early this year with it hasn't had its formal opening, but all the construction on this part of the river in Pulaski Park is done, and it is beautiful. You can actually walk across the river safely. You can see life coming back to it. Ducks have been living in it now. You can see family, a mom with 12 little ducklings just moving around the river. You can see the duck coming in, taking baths. Of them just landing on the park. People are walking and moving about. The futsal court is very used, and so is the basketball court, in which gave us some concern because there was a lot of young people meeting there with this COVID thing. It is something to be concerned. We still have people walking in and doing cleanups with the mask and social distancing, but we try to have, we planted in our garden area, we planted some, family, like separation of family, and we were going to have a movie. Unfortunately, the winds took our screen and it messed up the equipment, but we didn't have that. And we've scaled down a lot, but people can still participate. We're still planning to do things, and there are some issues of safety in the young people, trying to get, because it is a place where young people can meet. So we're working with people to make sure that it is safe for everybody. It's still very active. And like I said, you can see people walking. This neighborhood has a lot of pets, so people walk their four-legged family members in the park. You can see people walking morning, noon, and night. with social distancing most of the time and being safe, because again, being locked up and not being able to travel or anything, a park is a safe haven for people. But with the knowledge that we still have to maintain ourselves safe.
For sure.
It's still.
Yeah, that sounds really nice. I think I have to go check it out myself. And then lastly, for contact information, how do we get in contact with KK River Neighbors?
We no, right now we've met virtually. We do have the KK River Neighborhoods in Action Facebook page, and you can just search it and find us there. That's our main communication mode. Our phone number will be there. It's technically our president's phone number, which is Travis, and also through Stephanie Mercado from 60th Street Clinic. I can send numbers. I didn't write them. I'm sorry about
that. Oh, it's
that.
okay. We can write it in the comments when this airs as well. Do you have any other comments, last comments that you'd want to share with us before we close out on this interview?
It is important for us to be involved. Part of the reason Pulaski is strong at this point is because people got involved. The neighbors got involved. The pool was about to be shut down permanently. The neighbors got involved, and it's very much still a part of our park. That's the only south side free pool from the county that we have here, and you need to be involved. If you don't use it, we will lose it. And right now, with everybody's budget and people saying we don't have money for anything, it is very important saying that we've paid our taxes already. We need this. It is a very healthy thing to have, to be able to just walk and be away from your house for a couple minutes, especially in this area, in this time where we have to be locked down. So it is very healthy. It is something that we need, and we have to maintain it and let the public officials and everybody else know that we care about the park and we need it.
For sure. Well, thank you so much, Esperanza, for your time and for your knowledge and comments on KK River.
Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much to Maria Perea for that amazing interview with Esperanza Gutierrez. I've actually known Esperanza since I was a 14-year-old, and I was friends with her two children. We spent a lot of time at Pulaski Park, which is located on 16th in Cleveland. There you'll find the KK River Plaza. And like she stated, it's a beautiful, beautiful update, very natural, so much great. Life is coming back exactly like she stated. I actually just recently did my family photos there. It is so beautiful. So I highly encourage you to go out and make sure that you are socially distancing and wearing your mask if you were to interact with any others. But just a beautiful, beautiful part of Milwaukee that I'm so thankful to see come back alive. Up next, we're going to actually check our comments. We do have the link there for the KK River Neighbors in Action Facebook page. I know they would love to hear from you. Thank you, Maria, for showing that. And yeah, I don't have any other comments, but we see a great deal of you. So thankful for you. We're actually going to have for you a little promo right now for our SOC survey.
Has this live forum been informative and useful to you? What part of the forum could be improved or changed to make it better? Please take a quick survey that's located in the comments section so that we can keep 3 o'clock with SOC going for residents. Thank you for tuning in.
Wow, I can't believe we already have episode 164 completed. Definitely COVID-19 has changed, but we're so thankful we can still be with you as much as possible, digitally at least. Again, just so you know, next week we're going to have a couple of pre-recorded episodes because of the holiday coming up. We'll have a few rebroadcasts of a few of our former forums. And also we'll have a great interview with our lead organizer and executive director, Tammy Rivera. In addition, we'll be rebroadcasting the 50th anniversary of the Roberto Hernandez Center, which is located at UW Milwaukee. So very thankful to share that with you all. We hope you all have a lovely Restgiving. Please stay safe, please wear your masks, and we'll see you live again November 30th. Take care, everyone.
Hello, Xaviers. I am Esperanza Gutierrez, a longtime resident of the near South Side. We would like to thank everyone for supporting our 3 o'clock with SAC live show and for completing our SAC survey. In addition to thanking our residents for tuning in and sharing our show, we would also like to thank the following sponsors: Wisconsin Voices, Community Development Block Grant, Neo Philanthropy State Infrastructural Fund, the Movement Voter Project, the Catholic Campaign for Human Development, the Silber Foundation, City of Milwaukee Office of Violence Prevention, the Tithe Foundation, the City of Milwaukee Promise Zone, and all the faithful individuals who support SAC through their personal donations. Thank you. Gracias.